Let us talk about creation and the creative, about art and place making, about the width and depth of London, and challenge the definitions of what, where, who, and when business, culture, and art is and can be. Let us applaud the grace of water as it passes by us through the four seasons, and glance through the hoar-frosted trees at the sunlight that tumbles down on our upturned faces, knowing that we are blessed by the happy coincidence of time, place, season, and each other. Let us savor lush aromas that slink out to our senses as we struggle valiantly, trying to decide where to feast ourselves. Let us offer our appreciation for a full belly for those behind walls of kitchens or food trucks, and by those who whisk out to our palate anticipation marvels of palate and poise. Let us scream our full-throated joy, never resisting the beat or lifting our voices in harmony, never wishing to be released from heartbeat sounds that fill us with the impulse to dance. Let us praise those who link notes so beautifully that we are left breathless by the audacity of what has just stirred our most secret place. Let us witness the grace of bodies and movement, gasping in wonder at the expression of a unique soul made manifest by the extension of arm, leg, neck, and toe. Let us shake with excitement at the mad moves made by the mad young and perfected abandon on pieces of cardboard in the middle of the street. Let us fall into a palette of colors, lines, and curves that holders of brush and pen, crayon and spray can make for us to gaze on. Images so profound or of such whimsy that we want them to be enshrined on our private walls, so we are refreshed and reborn every day we see them. Let us clap and offer our thanks to the catchers of light, those with lenses big and small that tell a life story in the millisecond movement of a finger on a shutter button, or in the longer stories of photon catchers who tell us tales in the campfire light of cinema screener monitors glow. Let us marvel at the artisanship of digital magicians as they create places of play, communication, and industry that move forward our entire world. That these keyboard wizards are as filled with art as are the dancer, the actor, the artist, and the writer. Let us listen to the scribble of the poet and the novelist, the blogger and the news chronicler, the inspiring and the inspired, as they reflect the experience of the city we live in, or the world we hope to see, sharing the personal and the profound, the plebeian and the pedantic, the reflective and the reasoned. Let us recognize the places we have come from in the procession of stately homes and buildings as they wind by us in the reflected window light of summer sun, and be reminded of those who have come before us and built that on which we now stand on and walk through. Let us contemplate the slow babble of water and winter snow and ice, explode in an ode of joy for the release of spring that spring gifts us, revel in the green embrace of parks, trees, and spaces that we share in summer, be suffused by riotus colors of falling leaves and the girth of our harvest in fall. Let us celebrate the playwright and the director, the designer and the actor who stand before us in imagined landscapes and make our collective narrative breathe and come to life. These thespians who speak the speech trippingly upon the tongue and dare to hold a mirror up to nature. Let us look at the faces that pass us, knowing that the whole of the world, in all of its cultures, live with us and treasure that this has happened in old London town. Let us grab hold of that diversity of sex and race, youth and age, and gather it in the embrace of our beautifully changing London. Let us choose to link our city in ways that are not just good for today, but good for tomorrow. Let us strengthen transit, ease the path of bike riders, walk hand in hand around the places we share, knowing that in creating the means we create the places where we are connected. Let us go to the holders of the public purses, inviting them to understand that without us toiling in the golden seam of creativity, there would be no heartbeat at the fork of the Thames. That our food would be a little duller, our lives a little grayer, our street a little quieter. There would be no industry to build, no thought to sustain them, and no future to plan. Let us decide to scatter the seeds of our creativity across the whole of our city. Let us reach into schools, large and small, junior and senior, grabbing by the scruff the imagination of the young, inspiring them to make things that would leave our efforts looking pale and slight in comparison. Let us understand that we do not need to compare ourselves to any other city, but that within our own nooks and crannies, our own parks and boulevards, the whole of our lives are encapsulated, and all we need is to see it, and there before us we will find the muse of innovation leaping to embrace us in outstretched arms. Let us take responsibility and decide to no longer shake our fist at deaf heaven, but reach out to the people that pass us every day, to let them know that they make this city a better place by the very act that they are driven to do, that you are driven to do, create. Let us decide that we can no longer attract or expand, make new, revisit old, iterate or innovate without recognizing that the whole of our city is an experiment in art, innovation, and creativity. That we can no longer make the potential of what we want to be up on the backs of tissue paper wishers, but rather inscribe them with our industry into the very soul of our forested city. Let me offer my clumsy words, clumsily offered. Let us choose in this moment and in this time that this place, our London, is and can be what we dream. And when we do, then we are and have always been a creative city. Thank you.